So in this video I'm going to show how we can make a two-dimensional array in Python. So what I'm going to do first is just declare a couple of integers, and these I'm going to use for declaring the size of the array. Okay, so there's my integers, rows and columns. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do next is I'm going to create my array variable name, which is my array, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use loops and list comprehension to create this array. So I'm going to do square brackets. You'll notice I'm doing 2 here, and I'll explain that in a moment. So I'm going to do 0 for I in range. Okay, remembering that the I is just an arbitrary integer name. I could have called it something else. And I'm going to start with number of columns. And I'll explain this in a minute. Okay. Then I'll do a square bracket, and I'm just going to do for j in range. Now it's important that you use a different variable name there. And there we go. Now it's important as well that I use the columns and then the rows. And again, you'll see this in action in a moment. And I'm just going to type in print my array. So if I now press play, you'll see that I've got down here, if you can see this down here, I've got 5 sets of zeros. So you treat this as row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4 and row 5. Now if we want to look at how that works in debug mode, this is really interesting. So if we go to debug, and I'm just going to use step into now. So we've got a variable number of rows, we fill it with a 5, and the number of columns we fill it in 5, and remember that we actually go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 rather than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what we do is we now go into creating the array. So what happens here is the bit in the square brackets, rather like in math, the second lot of square brackets, we do that second. So if we step into this now, we're going to look at the range, number of rows, and we're declaring that there's actually going to be 5 rows, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we step into there. What that means is it's going to create 5 rows, and then it creates the 5 columns within each row. And if we just step into the next page, we're now done. And that's how we use a loop to create a two-dimensional array.